We're going to talk about lessons. Are they worth it? Because me and Bignose are different golfing history. I haven't really had a lesson as an adult, but Kyle has, because when you started quite late, didn't you?
Yeah.
So your basic swing wasn't that good, was it, really?
It's kind of like driving lessons. If you don't get the correct lessons right at the beginning, you get all these bad habits that you just never shake.
Yeah.
And I started off kind of, with the natural over-the-top swing, which is apparently the most natural way to swing a golf club is, to add power. You do come over the top like you're swinging an axe kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I ground that in for about 5 years.
Yeah.
And that's been really hard to shift, and I've only started to manage to do it now with feedback, video feedback actually, for me, from my coach, giving me that visual feedback. And, because that real versus, feel versus real, sometimes you think you're not coming over the top when you watch it back and you go, oh my God, I am. I'm still massively over the top.
Because I said for a while, I mentioned high hands in the follow through.
Yeah, swinging upwards instead of across.
So you need a more deliberate follow through.
Yeah.
But sometimes when a friend suggests something, you don't necessarily think they're being serious or they know what they're talking about. So when you go and have a lesson with Martin or whoever, or Andrew or whoever, they've got more impact because they're professionals, aren't they?
Yeah, I think they get to the root cause of it. I think that's what it is. So for me, it was always kind of my right shoulder always wanted to fire over, always wanted to go first. And I have to learn now to kind of drop my arms and leave the shoulder back.
Because they know the technical stuff, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Whereas me just saying you need a better follow through doesn't really fix the first bit, the takeaway.
Absolutely, because you could do the high hands, but with a wildly open club face.
Yeah.
And somebody gives you that advice, you try it, and the ball goes even further right.
Yeah.
And then you just instant like that don't work. But for me personally, having a coach say it's fine if it goes right. We've worked on me hitting the ball left, pulling it left.
Yeah.
Even viciously left. And he'd say to me, I don't care how this ball goes left as long as it goes left. To stop the right. And
that's weird to think that that's okay, isn't it?
Yeah, everything has to go left. Whether it starts straight and goes left or it's a pull left, it doesn't matter. I want to see this ball go left. And we had probably a couple of lessons where it was just literally hitting the ball left. Which, strangely, now that I'm getting the club in a better position, the feeling we have to try and get is now hitting the ball to the right. So we put an alignment stick, and I have to start it off right of the alignment stick.
And it definitely, this year, your game's improved massively, isn't it?
Yeah.
Your handicaps come down, and your confidence has grown.
Definitely. I think because I've been working on the wrong things.
Yeah.
You see, I go to the driving range quite a bit. I'm quite an advocate of actually putting the practice in. And I see people, they get a basket of 100 balls, which is like £7 or £8 now, and they just hit driver as hard as they can on every single shot.
Yeah.
And my coach is really good with me that when I'm on the range, he will walk over and he will kind of say, what are you working on, Carl? And I'll say, well, I'm just, maybe working on my 7-iron. And he'll say, okay, where's your target? And I'll go, oh, that tree in the distance. And he'll go, which side of the tree? Or which branch? And I'm like, what? And he's going, I want you to be that specific.
What a smart ass.
He's like, so where you starting it off? And I'll say, that pole there. And he's like, right, start it there. And I want it, the shape I want it is to draw back onto that tree rather than aim at the tree. Because I'll be aiming at the tree and it's going like bullet left, bullet left, bullet left. And he's like, right, I want you to start it right, and we'll pull it onto the tree. So just having that feedback in your practice, so you're not...
And being able to do that, being that your, say, natural shape is same as mine, is left to right.
Yeah. It's been hard for me to fight that fade. A lot of people most tour players now are playing with a fade because it is the most natural shot shape.
The big difference is that they can control it.
Yeah, true.
Well, my natural swing is left to right, and that's why I'm so good with my 4-iron, because I was always stuck in the trees on the right hand side. always.
Yeah.
So I learned to use my 4-iron to hit it low, to get it back on the fair. Well, hopefully get it back on the fairway.
Yeah.
And that's why I speak to Sevi quite a lot if I'm stuck in the trees,
asking for divine inspiration.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's why I'm so good with my 4-iron.
Yeah.
In the trees, because I had to be.
Yeah.
Because I was always stuck in the trees.
Yeah. I mean, for me, one of the reasons I like to try and hit a draw is because when I do hit the draw, you do get more distance.
Yeah.
So my disability is lack of, you could say, is lack of distance. That's, I'm a small lad, not that strong, don't go to the gym. So I don't hit it that far.
You're going to get in trouble from disability, people who have actually got a disability from saying that.
Sorry, apologies.
Sorry about that.
But yeah, it's the lack of distance. But I find that when I hit more of a straighter or a draw shot, I get that extra distance. So, if I hit a 6-iron, I hit it, with a draw, 160 yards, something like that. Well, with a fade, it's about like 147 or 145, something like that. There's a massive difference. It just puts so much cut spin on it that it just takes the distance off.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really strange, but it is a scientific fact, I believe. They've said that more cut spin, it loses distance. So I do like to try and see that draw. And plus when you've had a horrible slice or a big fade for years, it's so lovely to see the ball go left. Well, I'm happy if it goes left.
That's the one thing I've never been able to do. I've figured out most things that were wrong with my game or my swing, but I've never ever been able to hit the ball with any control at all, right to left.
Yeah.
So when I eventually get that, have that lesson with Martin, that's the only thing I want him to. Because I've tried the John Rahm way of doing it. I've tried Faldo, and I don't, because it's not natural for me to do that.
It's not natural for anybody. The body, it doesn't naturally, want to drop that club. It thinks, I'm here, I'm going to hit it really hard, straight at it.
Yeah.
And it's a very, very hard thing to do. There is some people who naturally just get into golf and just do it. Juniors tend to swing.
Oh, they're so annoying. The most annoying people in golf are young people, flexible, talented golfers. Boys and girls. I really hate them because they're just so much better than us.
But they come into it with no fear, don't they? And they swing the ball, they swing the club as hard as they can. They have no fear where it goes.
Yeah.
The biggest fear for most golfers, like on the first tee in front of a crowd, is holding off. I just don't want this ball to go left. I'm going to hold it off, and I'm just going to get it down the middle, and it's just a nothing shot. We've all done it. One of the lessons I had recently was about kind of just, you used to take the mickey out of me with the song "Let It Go, Let It Go, Let It Go," because my coach says when I actually do a full swing and just, like I said, really let the club go, it's so much more powerful, it's so much straighter. But when I try and guide it, it's all like the T-Rex arms. It's like a little shot like that. That's what we call it, the little T-Rex shot. It just kind of goes nowhere. But when I'm in that mindset of like, I'm just going to swing at this. It's a much more natural swing. Hence juniors have that natural swing because they're 110% on every swing they do, don't they?
Well, I mean the biggest difference between juniors and seniors, because I think I'm definitely classed as a senior.
I'm definitely getting.
I'll get a discount on my rail ticket.
You'll get a bus pass to the golf course.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Is the flexibility.
Yeah.
So that recently, that's my preparation for playing around starts a couple of days before I even play.
Yeah.
Just doing stretching.
Yeah.
And doing it for 20 minutes, half an hour.
Yeah.
2 days ahead, and then I'd maybe do that twice a day. So I have 4 sessions of stretching just so I've got the flexibility, because I haven't got time to practice or anything like that.
And
so it's definitely working for me.
And as the colder winter months come, it's just worse, isn't it? You get on the
have to get a bigger jumper on to warm myself up.
It's a thing, isn't it? It really is. It's you get, as it gets colder, you get to the first tee box, you're a lot stiffer. You're just not in that mindset of lovely warm summer golf. You're in that wrapped up, loads of layers of clothes, physically colder, stiffer. It is a lot harder.
Yeah, it is.
It's something that I always say to myself before you round a golf, make sure you stretch. And then you end up just getting in the car and, do a few stretches in the car, as I'm driving. And literally that's it, rock up to the first tee, which you definitely shouldn't do. And I know that when I'm doing more games next year and in the summer, I'll do a lot more preparation definitely before we get into it, but I think it's even harder in winter. You should do more of it in winter, but you'll probably do less, because who wants to stand out in the cold doing stretches for 15 minutes? You want to
do it before you set off.
Yeah, absolutely.
2 days prior.
Yeah, absolutely. So generally for me, lessons have been fantastic. Statistically you can see the improvement. I think one of the last videos I did on YouTube last year, I think I was either 22 or 28 handicap, something like that, now down to 13.8, and we were just talking about handicaps just a moment ago. It's a reasonable handicap for me, that, because we're playing varieties of courses, aren't we? We're traveling, we go play really hard courses, we play easy ones, we do a mix. We don't just stick to the same course, and we put good genuine handicaps in. So I think to go from 20 odd handicap down to 13 has definitely been
huge
lessons, hasn't it? It's definitely been lessons for me. And I think I've around 50 scorecards in my app now.
You have got a lot.
I have got a lot of handicaps. So I think it's a genuine, handicap. So yeah, and I put that down for me personally, definitely down to lessons.
Yeah. Well, I think you have to be. I'm so bloody minded that I don't think that
I can fix this myself.
Yeah, well, that's basically what I've done over the years. Is I've looked at mainly Faldo. I mean, I'm not saying that my swing looks like Nick Faldo's.
He is smooth. You do have a very smooth swing.
But I kind of base it on his swing.
Yeah.
His new swing, his current swing.
Yeah.
He changed his swing, didn't he? Years and years ago, obviously. But I try and base it on his.
Yeah. I mean, it's also time to get lessons.
Yeah.
Financial lessons are not cheap. I'm lucky that I think the ones that I get from my coach Martin, they're reasonably priced, but I can't afford one a week.
Yeah. Plus, I think this is going to be controversial, viewers. That there's a little bit of a PGA coach that doesn't want to fix you. Because then you'd have to keep on going back.
Keeps you broken.
But then on the other side, that's half joking about that. But on the other side, if a coach fixes somebody's swing, then they're going to tell other people, and then they're going to get more.
I think it's
businesses, maybe a mixture of both.
More referrals. I mean, I think my coach has been really good, because I would go back to him every week. I'd be like, I'll have another lesson on Monday, and then another lesson on Monday.
I've said a few times, just can't let your body heal.
Well, that's the thing. He's been quite good with me.
Then you say yes, and then the next
I'm back
day,
out again. Well, he says to me that it is important that you have a lesson, but then go away for 2, 3, 4 weeks and work on that.
Is he not just saying just go away?
Just go, probably. And he's saying it's important to go away and get that feeling or whatever bedded in and working.
Yeah.
Because if you go back and have another lesson the next week, you probably work on something else. But
that's the difficult thing, isn't it? Because you're trying to embed it in your swing. Yeah. Because it's a correction, isn't it?
Yeah.
Embedding a correction.
Yeah.
That's really difficult.
Yeah, particularly, unless you're filming yourself, which I highly recommend you do. For me, I'm a visual
Playing golf.
Oh my God.
He's a cat. He doesn't play golf. Do you? No, I don't.
That scared the life out of me. Yeah, for me, like I say, it's that visual for me really helps me out, because I remember a lesson where I went back. I'd had a lesson about 4 weeks ago. I'd been practicing it hard. I went back and I said, Martin, I've got this down. I'm nailing this. He said, right, show me what you've got. And I did the swing, and I turned around, and he just stood there shaking his head, and he goes, that's exactly like your old swing. And I thought it was so much better, but maybe I was just managing the club face and the shot looked better, but the actual basis of the swing still wasn't there. And it's only when you then see it back and you think, that's still like over the top. So visually for me, it's really important to see that. So, if you can have your lesson and go away and practice for 2 or 3 weeks and record yourself and play it back, it's so hard to do that because nobody likes to see the swing. It's horrible sometimes to watch your swing when it's not going well. I still don't think I've seen a shot on camera where I've actually been, wow, that swing looks really good.
Yeah, of course, though.
I still don't feel it in my head. So I understand how hard it is for you to record your swing and watch it back and, even send it to your mate and say, what do you think of that?
Well, having said that, I mean, the last year or so, we haven't made any videos, have we?
No,
really?
No.
Not with both. I mean, you've done a couple recently.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to have a look at an old video and a new one.
Yeah.
And see what you swing.
I've made a video recently and I can see that I'm trying to do the new swing, but it's not, I know it's not there. I know it's not 100% bedded in, but I can see the movements I'm doing with like dropping my arm, keeping my shoulder back. I can see that it's in my head to do the shot. Sometimes obviously I don't pull it off, but certainly my misses are less. That's the thing. My misses before would be...
You're more consistent in... From tee to green.
Yeah, I mean, I play at a local 9-hole course where I have my lessons, and I was talking to somebody the other day, and the guy said, like, you just don't ever miss a fairway, you're just consistent. They're never like incredible shots, but it's just always down there, steady. So I can get some really good scores on shorter courses like that. But yeah, my misses are less. So definitely, even though my swing's not in the right place, my head now knows what it needs to be and where it needs to be. So
is it just that your body's disagreeing with your head?
It 100%.
You need to get them together and just have a
conversation.
Find the whole thing out.
We
need to work together.
Yeah, my coach always says you've got a really good golfing brain. You just need to tell your body to listen to your brain.
Isn't that the brain's job? To talk to the body?
Well, apparently it takes something like 6 weeks to reverse a bad habit.
Oh my
it's
God.
Definitely longer than that in the golf swing. It's more like 6 years. But like I say, the golf swing has a natural swing to it, and it's not the right swing. It is that over the top, trying to get power shots. So it is hard to work on. But for me personally, like I say, I'm not saying it's for everybody to go out and get lessons, and certainly that I've had to cut the amount I have due to the financials. Most golf lessons now are £40 to £80 for an hour, so they're not cheap. And then you take into consideration you need to get probably a basket of range balls, and that's another £7 or £8, which is another topic we'll have to talk about in a video. Because
balls?
Yeah, don't get me started on the cost of range balls. They're absolutely ridiculous. I've been looking at different golf courses, memberships and things like that. So I think we'll cover that in another topic, maybe in another video. But membership prices and the cost of practice balls and practice facilities. Not every golf course in our area has all the facilities that I would like. Some has a great putting green, some has a practice net, some have a range, some that have practice bunkers. So it's hard to find a golf course that's got all them facilities reasonably priced. It's getting so difficult. So maybe that's another topic we cover in another video.
Definitely. Right. Well, I hope you enjoyed that little chat. We'll see you soon.
See you very soon. Bye, everyone.
Bye.